get out of here as soon as we can.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to my continuing episodes of the Fallout 4 playthrough. We have just finished upgrading the castle to include artillery. As a result of that, I have decided that it's time to improve Sanctuary Hills and actually turn it into a settlement that people will want to be a part of, and that will protect my settlers and others from the ravages of radstorms and raiders and whatever. So instead of going into some of these burned out houses and turning them into places to sleep just by placing beds and buildings with holy roofs and that let the rain come in, I'm going to actually build some dormitories and turn this into some place that people will want to come and be a part of. Eventually, I will include dormitories for sleeping, a mess hall, and a shower facility, and various other things. But for now, we're just going to start with dormitories. So we've taken the yellow house that is across the street from the main house that we've been using as a base, and it's the one also next door to my blue house that I owned pre-war. And so we're going to scrap it. We're scrapping everything there is about it. All of the furniture, the foundation, the house itself, its roof, all of it goes. And I'm using a mod which lets me scrap most of this material. As a matter of fact, it will let me scrap everything that's scrappable inside Sanctuary Hills and elsewhere. There are some items that are not scrappable, and I can't touch those no matter what mod I load. But this one seems to allow me to get rid of everything that is possible to get rid of. And it makes clearing this lot time consuming and tedious, but it does allow me to clear just about everything. So I will make several trips around this lot to make sure that I get everything scrapped. Right now we're working on the fences and the hedgerows and the trees and clear the lawn.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. All quiet.
So it allows me to get rid of the roots, and does a fairly good job of letting me clear just about everything. I must be careful not to clear my blue house yet, although eventually I will. One of the reasons why I want to get rid of the blue house will be because Carla uses that as a parking lot for her Brahmin. And while that's okay for Carla, it does make dealing with that house harder. So we'll get rid of it eventually, and then we'll also get rid of the yellow house. We've seen her Brahmin stuck in the one of the bedrooms, and I've seen that Brahmin stuck in the living room every once in a while. So we'll get rid of that so the Brahmin doesn't have that problem.
9 a.m. here at Radio Freedom.
But as you can see, we're doing a fairly good job of clearing this lot. For some reason, it wouldn't let me select that Halloween decoration. But I do get to select it when I come at it from a different direction. Notice that some of these materials are suspended in midair. That's because when they were placed by the artists, they were not attached. They were just placed next to walls, ceilings, various other things. And so they will stay there when the walls are gone. So that's the reason why I have to move around and look around, make sure that I take a look at things from different perspectives so that I can be sure that I can scrap all the items that are still hanging around and suspended in midair. Preston was sitting in that chair a minute ago, so I have to get rid of that to where it doesn't draw him back. I'm having trouble selecting these items to scrap from whatever direction I'm coming from. I find that if that happens, I just try to come at it from a different direction, and I'm eventually able to select the item. The other thing that happens is that sometimes these are placed in layers, and which means you have to delete something else first, and then you can delete a particular item. I don't see, there it is. I don't see didn't see the particular item, but I saw a shadow, so I knew that there was something there. I don't know if it was my glasses or my inability to pay attention or what that caused that, but that was there.
Radio Freedom.
So now we've pretty much so cleared it,
Stay safe out there, everyone.
and we'll start doing some building. Now, I'm going to cheat here, and the reason why is because to do this building will require a massive amount of resources. And rather than tire you out with me going out into the world and getting enough coin or enough caps to come up with the resources that I need to do this building, I'm just going to invoke God mode, and that will give me unlimited resources to do the construction for this. Now, this is a matter of timing for the video. Normally I would be out doing quests and scavenging parts and coming up with the money to buy the shipments of concrete. I have enough steel here, so it's not important for that. But to get the amount of concrete that I need in order to do this would take a whole lot more time than what I'm willing to give it for this particular video. And I don't want to subject you to the hours of grinding that it would take to come up with the material in order to do the construction that I'm about to do. So I'm in God mode, and I did that by hitting the tilde key. If you're not familiar with the tilde key, on American keyboards, it is the one that is underneath the escape key and next to the number 1 key and above the tab key. So it's the farthest left key on the row of numbers. And if you hit that, it brings the game up into what's called command mode. And that would allow me to enter in debug commands. And the one that I used was TGM, or toggle God mode. And that allows me to A, never die, and B, never run out of resources. So then I started creating things. The first thing that I did is I want to create a bridge across this street. Now, I don't want it to exist right now, but what I did is I laid some framework down, and that is going to allow me to line up these two properties so that I can drop a bridge across the street and then actually have a building on each side. So it's a matter of alignment. And then I actually started to place concrete foundations. My problem is that the concrete foundations aren't high enough yet, and I'm getting into the weeds. So what I'm trying to do is A, bring them up a little bit higher, and B, align them with the foundation across the street, so that whenever I actually start building across the street, these two buildings will be able to line up, and then a bridge will be able to go across the street and connect them. Now, even though this foundation I'll end up scrapping and getting rid of, I still want to line up to it because it gives me the proper alignment for the street and for the rest of the settlement. So now I have got all that lined up. I have my first row of concrete set up. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down, and it will be a 5x4 foundation. That means that I will do 5 blocks wide and 4 blocks deep. I am using concrete simply because with the full concrete structure, it gives it more defensibility, in my opinion. So not only will the base be concrete, the walls will be concrete, the ceiling will be concrete, and so we're making it out of concrete and steel, and I think that's going to make it a more interesting structure, and to me, a more secure one. I have no idea. Well, I'll take that back. That was the back door. I thought that was the side door. So, what I'm doing now is I've placed the front and back door, and I'm now placing the windows to the side. And now I'll put the solid walls in. Now, the reason why I'm putting solid walls to the front and back rather than windows to the front and back is because I'm going to create some stairways, and those stairways will go right in front of these walls. As a result, if there were windows, then there would be a privacy issue. Now, I know that they're only computer-generated characters, but I'm making this as if it was someplace that I would want to stay. And I don't like the idea of having people being able to walk down hallways or stairs and then be able to look inside my windows. So the front and back are going to have solid walls. The sides are going to have windows that people can look in and out. And voila, we have most of the first floor done. We've created the floor, we've created the walls. Now we're going to go to the creating a second floor here. And I'm trying to use the wrong panel here. I'm using just a floor. And I forgot that there's a floor upper, which will allow me to create a ceiling downstairs and a floor upstairs. Finally, I found that panel, and we'll drop those in, and that will create us a blocked in first floor. Now, using this technique, I can raise this several stories high, make myself a rather large skyscraper if I want. Depending on the settlement location, you can go fairly high. Abernathy Farms has an extremely high ceiling. I think I did this once here in Sanctuary Hills, and I could actually go about 7 stories before I hit the theoretical limit of the settlement. So there you are. We have created an entire first floor down here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to block it off and turn it into dormitory rooms. So right now I'm placing the initial walls, which will create 4 rooms on this floor. I've placed the end walls in. Now I'm going to put the doorways. Accidentally hit the wrong key. Now we'll go back to solid walls, and I'll put the side walls in that will block these off into actual rooms. And there I've created 2 rooms right away. So as you can see, using 8 concrete for each one of these walls, that it would not take very long for all of these this construction to eat up a lot of my concrete. So that's the reason why I went into God mode, is so that you wouldn't have to deal with the fact that I would build half the structure and then have to go get some coin or some caps and get some concrete and then do it again.
It's 1 p.m.
Now, in these corners, the 2 walls don't meet, and so that's the reason why I have to put this little column in, and that fills in the corners and makes it look a little bit better. Now what I'm going to do is just put a temporary stair in so that I can get upstairs and start building the second floor. And this will be very similar to what the first floor was, which is just drop some items down. Right now I'm creating a landing platform for the stairway, rather than the temporary one.
Good afternoon. You're tuned to Radio Freedom, broadcasting across the Commonwealth.
Hit the wrong key
Nothing to
again.
report. Stay safe out there,
As you can see, the way this is done, the stairway actually goes into the wall, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is put a full platform out here and then move the stairway out so that it's away from the wall. And that will make it a lot easier to turn that into a landing or a platform or whatever. Now, this will actually be the bridge across the street and lead to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in, and then I'll come back and make the dormitory or the building on the other side.
This is
I'm trying to put some handrails in, but for whatever reason,
Nothing to
these
report.
are not
Stay safe,
working.
people.
I don't know if I've got the wrong type or what, but what I'll do now is just go ahead and drop the second stairway in. Now what I'll do is drop the corner posts in, and since I have the first floor corner posts to snap to, it will put these right in place. I couldn't put the corner posts in first on the first floor because there was nothing to snap to. But now that I've got some in place. These will just connect right to that, and that will allow me to put my walls in and continuing the construction process. We'll do the same thing up here as we did on the first floor, which is put the windows on the sides and the doors on the front and back, and then we'll put the solid walls in. Now, interesting point here, the door would not snap to the foundation because the floor was there. So what I had to do was temporarily remove the floor and put the door in place, and I have to do the same thing over here. But I'll put the door in place, and then I'll put the floor back. And it's kind of snapping to the half rather than to the full. So I have to figure out what to do with that. And there it is. It just was a matter of positioning. Checking to make sure everything else is aligned the way it's supposed to be. And now I start putting in the solid walls. Now I could build interior stairway, but I don't like doing that. It's easier for me just to put them on the outside and then take care of the foundations that are needed to support the stairways and the landings that way.
All day, all across the Commonwealth.
So we're getting pretty close to finishing the second floor. We've got all of the walls in place.
This is Radio Freedom.
And it'll be time to put the ceilings in. Now, as I said before, I found out that if you try to put floors in above, it will still leak. It still looks like it leaks when I put roofs in the fact that it kind of puddles during the rain, but you don't actually see the water coming through. And you definitely have, you can see the puddling and the effects of rain on the first floor of these things. And we'll see that a little later when it actually starts to rain while we're constructing. But the puddling is not, you're actually not seeing raindrops. As to where if you would put the floors up or you leave them blank, you would actually see rain coming down through the floors above, and then it puddles. So it's better to put the roofs on. The other thing is that by putting the roofs on, you don't have settlers going up there and walking around on the roofs as you would if they were floors. Alright, so we have this one encased, and now it's time to put the walls in. Up here, I put the side walls in first. I don't know why. There's no consistency to what I do. I'm too close. And it snaps to place, but it's actually on the wrong side. But that doesn't seem to bother me right now. Until I figure out, wait a minute, it's on the wrong side. So rather than change the ones that I just placed, I changed these. And I think the reason why I did that is because I remembered that downstairs, they are on the street side. Don't know. Place the solid walls here for the ends. Well, I placed that one on the wrong side. I'll fix it in a minute. That doesn't look right. What's going on? Ah, there's a gap. I didn't place this door correctly. So we'll move that into place. Move this one. Better. I'm not done with the walls, but for some reason I've been distracted, and I'm going to put the rails up out here. I don't know why I got distracted. Oh well. And we'll come down here and finish the stairway.
4 o'clock. You're tuned to Minuteman Radio.
It's not snapping to the way it should. There it goes. So that gives me a good stairway up. And I still walked by the unfinished wall. But safety is important to me, and so I'm putting the rails up just to make sure that I don't accidentally fall off. Because one thing I would hate is to get somewhat close to being finished in this construction and die. Of course, I am in God mode, so I can't die. So I'm not real sure what my thinking is here, but we're putting the rails up, so be it. Okay, now can I go in and finish the wall? No, I gotta go down and do the stairways. Now can I go finish the wall? No. I think I finished the wall. I don't know. We're gonna put doors in down here. Oh well. Again, I don't know what I'm thinking, but we'll put the doors in.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen.
I'm trying to decide which door to use, and I've evidently picked the wrong one. So we'll close it. And pick the other one. So I need to be careful as to which door I use and how I place them. What I want to do is have the door open up to the inside and have it go up against the wall. And so the correct door needs to be used, and then I need to put the handle in the correct place. So on half of these doors, the handle will be on the left. On the other half, the handle will be on the right. And on the outside, same thing. So I'm checking now to see if I've actually got them all set properly.
Stay safe out there.
And those two are fine. That one's good. I think I've got it. None of them open to the out, and all of them open accordingly. Ah. Evidently, I dropped the door and didn't connect it. So, that brings us to the point that we have the first floor constructed. Now maybe I can go upstairs and finish the second floor. Aha, here we are. Do a run through to make sure the front and the back are in good shape. And now I notice that there's a gaping hole there. Smart. Put a wall up, will you? And I've snapped that to the wall, but that's not quite
This
right
is
there.
Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth.
So I'll bring these two walls out to meet the other one. That'll give me a little more space in the rooms. And have everything connect properly. This one doesn't want to snap. Not real sure why. We'll get it in place here, I promise. It snapped momentarily. There it is. Alright. That's got that. That's got that. We're all good. We now have the 4 rooms upstairs completed. Time to put the doors in. And we're going to do what we did downstairs, which is drop these floors in to where that the doors will open to the inside and go up against the wall. And we are over 33 minutes, so I will complete putting these doors in and test them, and then we'll save this and continue next time when we'll start putting the furniture in place. So, thank you for watching this, and we'll pick it up next time with placing some furniture in these 8 rooms. And until then, I hope you have a good one. And again, thanks for watching. Take care.